Okay, and I literally have enough Penguin hats because I'm an IR Penguins fan, and I did not know what to pick, so I had to basically like reach in the grab bag, and I basically am wearing the Vegas gold tie and the Reebok tie, and I found this little thing. This was the three cups that did '09, 16, and 17. And yeah, this is this was the three, and this is the banner on it. Meanwhile, the bottom line is simply it's Pittsburgh Penguins time. It's my favorite team, and we're doing the top five for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I was I'm actually kind of terrified because there's a lot to go through, but I always say I don't want to make the video long, but this is going to be a fun one because I basically have blue right here, I have gold right here, and I just wearing black in the middle. Might as well make it even all out. As always, you're joining and watching all the top five series that I'm doing. It's my top five jerseys of each team. There's the thing here called the subscribe button. Hit that if you want to see more of all the stuff and even see all the other teams that we have done. We've even done a couple of the defunct teams, and it's done fairly decent. You want to see all the rest of them? Hit that button and go check them out for yourself. And you're welcome to chuck a like, throw a comment in, and say what your favorite was. We do appreciate you. We are variety on this show, on this channel here on YouTube. Still very young, so any help would be grateful. But as always, every time I do this top five series, I throw this little gadget up here that I always do. It's called the NHL Uniform Database. You get all the templates and all the years that they did all the things with, even the special ones that they did from the Winter Classic stadiums, the reverse retros, and all the funkadelic stuff that they've done in every time frame that they have put together. Meanwhile, 1967 was a good year. That's when the Penguins came out in that draft class, in that expansion class that came out with the Blues, with the Kings, with the Golden Seals of California as well. And 50 plus years, 5 cups, we'll take them. And did anybody know that there's only 3 people that is retired in the Penguins? It's Michel Briere, which was a legendary young kid who died, who unfortunately passed away in a car. I think it was a car accident or a plane crash. I can't remember off the top of my head. And he wears number 21. His number is never ever going to be worn in a Pittsburgh uniform ever. So his name, along with Lemieux, Mario Lemieux, and Jaromir Jagr, are the only 3 names to be having their jerseys hang, and Lemieux is the only one to have it done it twice. So how funkadelic is that? Now, we remember most of the stuff. Now, everyone knows if you're a Penguins fan, you know you're going to bleed black and gold. They did not start black and gold. They started out in the basic blue that they did. Now, obviously, let's throw this one up there because it is the traditional home that they wear, the black and gold. That is what they are known by. But if you remember, I'm going to go back and fizzle through here. And you know what? I'm actually going to do it this way. I'm actually going to go by, and you're just going to look for yourself. They started out pretty much just like that. They started out with the diagonal form of the Penguins, the baby blue, that multiple cord striping down on the bottom. And I had a picture of them somewhere. Forgive me, because I'm going to toy with all my stuff and just throw back some there. This is what they went with, and then they changed it up a couple years, and they finally brought out the Penguin logo, the fluffy Penguin logo with a scarf on it down the road. I do not own these 2 jerseys. I do have that one and an Adidas version, the Adidas vintage collection that they did, because it was just dirt cheap and it was done by Ben H. But I remember most of these that I still have to collect yet. The blue one is one thing. The white's just fine, different ones. But we remember when they did all these things. Now I go back and just look. I should have done this in the earlier days, but if you remember, they changed it up and they went to the jersey that they did the Winter Classic with against Buffalo, the first ever Winter Classic. And the white version, they didn't do the white version, but they did the baby blue. The baby blue just blew up, and it became a third jersey for a while. But we remember most of those time frames that they did. And then after a while, after they did all that, they went to this really weird. I didn't find any like pictures of it right now, but they went to this funkadelic version of it, and this version with some basic striping on the arms, and they just reversed the colors on it. And these 2 I don't own as well. It's kind of one of my goals is to own every Penguin jersey that was ever made. I know that's going to be a long reach, but these are ones I do off the top of my head remember. And then they changed it up a tad But when he added a little bit, and they added a little bit of the gold triangle too. So you remember the gold triangle that came out? They added a little bit of a darker blue down in the bottom. So there was a lot of variations to the blue, and they wanted to hold on to the blue until 1980, and that was when until right around 1980 we remember that is when they brought these guys into the league, and the city of Boston was not too happy because they figured they were taking taking their colors, but Pittsburgh was starting to adapt with all the success the Steelers were having and the Pirates are having. And let's just go with that. And let alone that is exactly what they did. They went there and they have not gone back, and Boston hasn't worked since. So we remember the basic one, and I'll just go through a bunch. Let's just go through it. They went through the times. Let's go to the reverse retros they did. The one they did in the pandemic year, they did only wore this a handful of times. And we remember, I mean, this was not bad. I mean, we always look at every team that did a reverse retro. Could they have done better? And everybody who has Photoshop goes on sportstemplates.com and tries to put together their thing, and there'll be like, this is what they should have done. And, we're never ever going to be, we're never going to be working for NASA anytime soon. So, but they make all these designs. This one, and of course, this one was one of my favorites when they brought Robo Penguin back. I adored. I'm so happy I got that jersey. I do have it. It's in my collection. Um, but the minute they said they were going to bring Robo Penguin back when they were doing Reverse Retro 2.0, I was like giddy. I was stoked that they brought that back. I did not make it into my top five though, but I do have some handfuls. Let's just burn through it. Look at this. Remember the Winter Classic that they played against Boston when they brought the Pirate P from 1920s. This was not bad. I did not mind this because they used the cream color, the basic middle striping, and that's the Pirate P they used back in the 1920s. Go look that up. I like that little jagged checkerboard thing on the collar. Um, it was nice. They lost that game 2-1. They played that game at Fenway, but the P is also has that little fuzzy material on it. It was really cute as well. Some of these I really predicted. Now I remember everyone remembers the second Winter Classic that Pittsburgh went into. They played this game at Heinz Field. They went back to the old circle logo with the fluffy penguin, and they went navy blue. It didn't do bad, but a lot of people did not care for navy blue, but it was part of their history. But a lot of people did not really care about this one just because Crosby got hurt in it twice, and they lost that Winter Classic. Plus, that Winter Classic was 2011, 2010, 2011. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was 2000. I think it was 2011. I think, and that was supposed to be played at noon, and it was 60 degrees and rain. They moved the time twice from noon to 4 to 8 o'clock at night, and it was still raining and 60 degrees on New Year's Day. And the ice was was let's not even go there. And it's one of the reasons why Pittsburgh doesn't really go for this. Now, I recently did a video of like concepts of whether or not, what Pittsburgh's going to do for a possible third jersey for 2025, 26, and beyond. I put this as an idea and turned this black with the stripes gold. It was an idea. So that video is on there. I'll try to pin that up somewhere. Let's burn through the rest of this. I remember the stadium series they played against the Flyers at Heinz Field. Definitely a better time. It was better weather. They won that game as well. They did play the second one at Lincoln, lost that one. But I remember this is a jersey I do not own. If somebody has this and wants to, hit a brother up. We remember those two. We remember I showed you these two. These are all ones that I do not own. I'm trying to find them, but it's so difficult. And I showed you this one as well as a part of it. Now, we remember that Winter Classic that they played. Now, there's a lot of people that go on and say, why don't they just go back to blue? And I'm a big follower of Neil from Post to Post, who does Jersey Concept Fridays. Check his stuff out. His stuff is phenomenal. And I always say that. But he always says, excellent, fantastic. It needs to go back to its history. Needs to go back to blue. I want to see them go back to blue. And respectfully, please no. We don't need to go back to blue. I put that in that video. I'm definitely gonna when we get this one out, we are definitely gonna pin that up there of all the jersey concepts that I did for the possible third jersey. But they had their run with blue. It was a nice run, nice time during the Reebok era. They showed two different versions of their blue jerseys, played them as third jerseys. They're fine. They had their time. There's no need to go back. Nice idea, but we don't need to go back. But this jersey will always be a relic, hands down, the baby blue. I'm going to go. Do I have my top five in here? No, I gave you a look. You know, oh, that's right. I'm gonna try to zoom through this. I don't want to make this too long. This is the tie for my top five. It's gonna be both basically both jerseys from the '90s turnover when they went to Robo Penguin. This was the home. This was the road. These two will always be two of my favorite jerseys ever. That whole I actually should make this, but it's not. You probably may already know what number one is. But these two will always be a big critical time of their because they was after the back-to-back cups they went to this and they were an unstoppable team until they ran into the Islanders and ran into the Panthers. But those were I'll make this a tie at five. Number four is going to be that third jersey that they used as a when they were doing the Robo Penguin era and they went back to this and this was actually dope. When they brought the skating penguin back in the Vegas type shiny gold, it was interesting, very interesting, and kept Robo Penguin up top in the Vegas gold, the diagonal triangle trim on the sides. This was a spectacular jersey, and I'm glad I put this in my top five. This was four. Number three, I will put the Reebok era, in which they were having their troubles with the bankruptcy, but they did win that cup in 2009. They were in 2008 as well, lost to the Red Wings, had the rematch, and 1-7. Everyone remembers Max Talbot hitting to both of those goals, and Fleury flourishing, flying over the other side, trying to stop Derek Helm's shot from the other side. But that jersey right here will always be a huge, huge piece of history for the Penguins. It was in Reebok era. There's really nothing you can go ahead and say about that one. I'll put that at three. Number two, I'm going to put the Stadium Series that they did wear against the Flyers the second time around. Tonal jersey, all it is, and Flyers did this as well with the orange jersey with the black numbers and the black logo. It was a phenomenal setup, and I'm not a Flyers. Everyone knows, not a Flyers fan, but I like that jersey. But this jersey, just the plain logo with nothing else, no triangle, nothing. Big numbers on the shoulders, one big stripe, no, just one set of trims on the bottom. The back of the jersey says "Great Day of Hockey." This was a stellar jersey, and if you ever see pictures of these jerseys, go look at the helmets because the helmets for that game were dope. I mean, they should do that more often instead of putting stupid ads on them. I absolutely adore this jersey, but I will go number one. Here's number one, and it's not even an argument in my opinion. I have to go the hologram jersey. This is without a shadow of a doubt. This was the third jersey when they went to Robo Penguin, and they wanted to basically recreate and have some sort of a standout in the age of turning stuff over, new stuff, new technology, new design work. When you get the stripes on one end, the gold on the other end, and the white numbers in the back, that font, nobody really ever had that font. Oh God, and I'm sitting here. I'm going to shut this video down. I don't want to bring the jersey out either because I wanted to make this video simple. This jersey, in my opinion, should be the next third jersey for the Penguins. I think they should do it. Keep Robo Penguin. If you have to make some alterations by fanatics, so be it. But that's going to be my take. I absolutely want that to be the third, but there are so many other ideas. And guys, this what gave me a headache. I did not know how to go by, what to do, and how to go by this jersey because this was tough. This was a really tough one to do. And I didn't want to bring the whole wardrobe out. So I appreciate you hanging out. The bar is closed. I think we may do Quebec next time. And it's not going to be a long video, but doing Quebec will be fun. But thank you for hanging out. If you're a Penguins fan, you remember what jersey you liked, throw that in the comments. Chuck a like if you liked the video. The bar is, in fact, closed. I will see you legends in the next one. I love my Penguins. Five-time Stanley Cup champions.